Welcome friends. This is module 2 linear and nonlinear equations, application of equations. We widely use calculator rather than mathematics here. Calculator is essential for these problems. So straight away start with a problem. A fence is to be placed around a rectangular plot. Rectangular means mustatir. Mustatir, this is called rectangle. So that the enclosed area is the whole thing, this is the area, is 800 feet square, and the length of the plot is, this is called length and this is called width. Length of the plot is twice the width. How many feet of fencing must be used? This length is twice the width. So let us write this English into mathematics. What is given? Length is equal to twice the width. So length I write it L, twice the width means 2W. Twice means multiply by 2. So twice means multiply by 2, thrice means multiply by 3, more means plus, less means minus. So here it is. So L is equal to 2W. Area is given to be, what is the formula for area? Length multiply width is the formula, area formula. So area is given to be 800 feet is equal to length multiply width. Length is again 2W, length is twice the width. So 2W multiply W. Use calculator. Shift cal equal to, if you use it, you get directly W is equal to 20 feet. And once W equal to 20 feet, what is the question? How many feet of fencing must be used? So fencing means the total boundary. This total boundary is called fencing. So how much it is? L plus W plus L plus W. L plus W plus L again W. So L means 2W, write it 2W plus W. L means 2W, W. So total W means 20. So 2 times 20 plus 20, 2 times 20 plus 20, 120 feet is the answer. It's a very simple question. Another question is, the perimeter of a rectangle is 300 feet. Perimeter means the boundary. Perimeter means the boundary. This is the boundary. This boundary is 300 feet and the length of the rectangle is 3 feet more than twice the width. 3 feet more than twice the width. Find the dimension of the rectangle. So let us take it first. What is given? Length is 3 feet more means plus, twice the width. Twice means double, 2 times width. 3 feet more than twice. Let us read it again. Length is means isavi, 3 feet more than twice the width. Twice means 2. Now what is given? Perimeter is 300 feet. Perimeter is 300 feet. Perimeter is 300 feet. What is the formula for perimeter? Perimeter means the total total boundary. So L plus W plus L plus W. L plus W plus L plus W. L means 3 plus 2W. W sawa W. Again L means 3 plus 2W. W means W. So use calculator with this one. Shift cal equal to, if you press it directly you get W equal to 49. W equal to 49. What are the dimensions? Dimensions means what is the length, what is the width. Width is 49, length is 3 plus 2W, length is 3 plus 2W, 3 plus 2W means 49, 101. So length is 101 feet, width is 49 feet. Very simple problem using a calculator. So let us do the next problem. A builder makes a certain type of concrete by mixing 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand and 5 parts of stone. If 756 feet cube of concrete are needed, how many cubic feet each ingredient does he need? Okay, here I made a mistake, but let me correct myself. This is not 756, it is 765. 765. Okay, so what is the question? A concrete mixture is made with cement, sand and stone. Cement is 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand and 5 parts of stone will give you the concrete mixture. When we mix all these things, you are getting 765 feet cube. That is what it is. A builder makes a certain type of concrete, 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand and 5 parts of crushed stone. If 765 of concrete is needed, then how many each part is? So in the calculator you put 1 part plus 3 part plus 5 part is equal to 765. But calculator does not have part, so you can type calculator 1x plus 3x plus 5x. 1x plus 3x plus 5x is equal to 765. Shift cal isavi, you get x is equal to 85. You get x is equal to 85. You get x is equal to 85. That means x means part. So 1 part is equal to 85. So therefore cement is 1 part, sand is 3 parts, stone is 3 parts. 1 part means 85, 3 parts means 3 multiply 85, 5 parts means 5 multiply 85. If you total all these things, you get the same 765. 1 part, 3 parts, 5 parts. If you total all these things, 765. This is how we do the problem. Okay, the next problem is a person wishes to invest $20,000 in 2 enterprises so that the income will be 1440. One enterprise is 6% annually and another pays 7.5% annuity. How much he invested in each? What is the problem? Let us understand this English. $20,000 he wants to put in one business some money and in another business the remaining money. In mathematics, some money we call it as x and the remaining money will be 20,000 minus x. The first business has given 6% profit and the second business is given 7.5% profit. So that the total profit, this profit and this profit, when you put together, you get 1440 is the total profit. So how to calculate profit? 6 multiply x multiply 6% is the profit in the first business. And 7.5% multiply this is the second business profit. This profit plus this profit will be the total profit. Use calculator, shift cal equal to, you get $400. $400. X means business we are invested, x 400. So it is $400. So first business he invested $400. The second business is 20,000 minus 4,000 will give you 16,000. These are the money he invested in the first business and the second business. This is the end of the problem. The next one is same question. A person invested 120,000 parked at an interest rate of 4% annually, and the remainder at 5% annually. So in one business he invested some money which is called X, which is giving 4%, and in the remaining money, that is 120,000 minus X, remaining money invested in the second business, which gives 5% interest. So the profit for the first business is 4% like this, X multiply 4%. The profit for the second business is 120,000 minus X multiply 5%. Profit 1 plus profit 2 will give you total profit. And the total interest or the total profit at the end of the year is 4.5% on the entire 1,000. So how much is the total profit? It is 4.5% for the total money he put it. This much benefit he was expecting. Earlier, this number he has given 1440 directly. Instead of giving 1440 directly, he said 4.5% multiply 1,000. This is the profit he was expecting, the businessman. So whatever it is, so we use simply calculator like this. Same thing, you type calculator properly without making any mistake. Then put shift cal equal to, then directly you get x equal to 60,000. So in the first business he put x equal to 60,000. In the second business he has put the remaining, which is also equal to 60,000. 120 minus 60 is 60,000. So this is the end of it. 1.2 is direct mathematics, where you read x, y, z, a, b, c and all. So we use directly in the applications of inequality and 1.3. So let us see this. A product that has a unit selling price of $20 and a unit cost price is $15. If fixed costs are $600,000, determine the least number of units that must be sold. So what is the question? Sold to have a profit. What is the question? This is the selling of $20 per piece, per unit, and the cost is $15 per unit plus a fixed cost. So what is the one we know in the business in the real market is, in the real market what we know is we total cost will be variable cost plus fixed cost. What do you mean by variable cost? He sold let the number of units be X. So each unit is $15. So X units will be 15. X is the cost incurred. This month I may make 100 units, so I get $1,500. Next month I make 200 units, then I get 200 into 15, it is $3,000. So this is a variable cost. Okay, and then fixed cost is this. Fixed cost means like electricity, room rent, chairs, all tables, all these are all fixed costs. So you cannot change its salary to the employee. These are all fixed costs. whether you produce anything or you don't produce anything, this is compulsory. This is compulsory. If I don't produce any this thing, then still this is compulsory, this 60,000. As long as I open the office, this is compulsory, called fixed cost. So this is selling. After producing, he sold each unit for $20. That means the amount is 20x. So what do you mean by this? Selling price minus cost price will give you profit. This is common sense. Profit means this is the money I made, I invested, and this is the money I got it. I got this much money minus I invested will give you the profit. So SP is 20x minus this is 15x plus 600,000 is, you have to put it in a bracket, and this one. So this must be 0. If it is 0, that means I have got no profit, no loss. So use calculator. 20x minus 15x plus 60,000 is equal to 0. X is equal to 120,000 units. If you write dollars, it is wrong. So if you want to have profit, you have to produce 120,000 units in the factory. Not 100. With 120,000 you get only profit 0. That is no profit, no grant. You have to produce more than this. That is 120,000 plus 1 you have to produce. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 4. Another 1,000 you produce. So whatever you produce extra more than this will be your profit actually. Otherwise the profit will be 0. So your answer is 120,000. You can stop it here. Units, not dollars, please. You are making X is the number of units. Okay. Next is another question. So to produce 1 unit of new product, a company determines that the cost of the material is $250 and the cost of labor is $4. The fixed cost is 5,000. If the cost of the wholesaler is $7.4 per unit, determine the least amount of units that must be sold by the company to realize a profit. So same logic. X will be the number of units. So SP minus TCP is the profit. The profit must be 0. So if you produce more units, then you will get more profit. So what is the selling price? 740 per unit, because you are taking X units. 740 multiply X minus what is the cost? This is called material cost. This is called labor cost, and this is called fixed cost. Total cost price, material, labor, and then fixed cost. So 250 minus multiply X, 4 multiply X, and 5,000. Make it equal to 0. You get these many units. If you write these many units, this is wrong, because a unit cannot have 0.5, 0.25 and all like that. Unit means it is an item. An item cannot have half item, 3/4 item and all. Is not possible. So you have to increase it and write it 556 units. This is right. Okay, it's very, very simple. There is no difference between this problem and these problems. This problem and this is 4 multiply X with 5 multiply this. Similarly, percentage is there. Similarly here what is it? 740 multiply X, 250 multiply X, 4 multiply X. This is why there it is given percent, here it is given price, unit price. So there is no big difference in it. Try to understand the English. That English you put it in mathematics properly. Okay. The next one is a T-shirt manufacturer produces N T-shirts at a total labor cost in dollars is 1.3 N and a total material cost of 4.1. He himself multiplied 1.3 multiply number of T-shirts is here. Normally we write X. He is writing N. So he himself multiplied and he himself multiplied. This is called labor cost. This is called material cost. Fixed cost is 6,500. If each T-shirt sells at 3.50, how much must be the sold? What is the profit? So once again, SP minus TCP must be 0. SP means selling price. Each one is 3.50 multiply X. Instead of X, he wrote N. So he wrote like this minus TCP means total cost. So this is labor cost. He gave already multiplied. So no need to multiply 1.3 multiply X. Instead of X, he wrote N. He already given, so that you write it. This is called labor cost, and this is called material cost, and this is called fixed cost. You write it is equal to 0. Use calculator properly, and you get N is equal to 3611.11 shirts. Shirts you cannot have 0.11 shirt like that, so you increase it and you write 3.12 shirts. Number of T-shirts means N. Okay. Another problem, same problem here. See here, you read the English. 30,000 is invested in surplus funds at two annual rates. One is at 5%, another is 6.3%. If he wishes an yield of no less than 6.5%, what is the money invested at? 634. So in 30,000 he invested in the first business at 5%, invested in the second business at 634%. If you say the first business X, the remaining money will be invested in the second business will be 30,000 minus X. So X multiply 5% is the first profit. This multiply this will be the profit of the second profit. This profit plus it will give you the total profit. The total profit must be 6.5% on the whole. So 6.5% on the whole means 30,000. So use calculator properly. So you get 40 to 85.71. Here no need to upgrade to plus 1 because it is dollars. Dollars can have 71 halala is 71 cents is acceptable. Okay, let us do the another problem. So here we comes to the mathematical finance. So before I start this lesson, let me tell you a little introduction. This mathematics of finance is very, very important. If at all there is any job which has got more money in mathematics is the mathematics of finance. My son recently finished in this mathematics of finance master's degree, and immediately during Corona he got a job. In September 1st he got a job from home. He finished his master's degree and then immediately he got a job the next day. Good salary and all, everything in Indian rupees. Okay, and he also got admission in University of London for doing one more master's degree in Master of Finance. But because of the Corona he could not go. Now he is in the job. So what I am trying to say is there is more money in mathematics of finance. Either you make a study and you make more money through job, or in mathematics of finance you sit in the home and invest money properly with proper brain, learning all these techniques, and you will really make a good money in your businesses. Anyway, let's come back to the problem. Present value means today value or the principal PV we write it, present value. Future value means tomorrow amount, tomorrow amount or tomorrow money is FV, future value. Rate percent R percent, always annually is written. And time means number of years. Time means you should always talk in years. You cannot take days, months and all. No, you should take only years. M means number of times. That is, the year is divided annually means M is equal to 1. If the year is divided quarterly means M is equal to 4. If the year is divided monthly means M equal to 12. If year is divided into daily means M is equal to 365. Now here is the formula. FV, future value, is equal to present value multiply 1 plus R over M to the power M multiply T. 1 plus R over M to the power M multiplied. P means present value, F means future value, R means rate percent, M is number of times, M is the number of times the division, and T is the time in years. So this is the amount, future amount. Future amount minus present amount. Future value minus present value will give you the excess money, which is called compound interest. So who will give you the excess money? The bank. If you put the money, today this much money, you got tomorrow this much money, the difference is called interest, which is called compound interest. We will come to this a little later. Let us start the problems. Find the compound amount and the compound interest for the given investment of $6,000 for 8 years at an effective rate of 8% per annum. So what are the things? We just understand it. Find the compound amount. Compound amount means future value, and the compound interest that we will calculate for the given investment. Investment means I put this much money today for the given investment. Investment means I put this much money today, that is called present value for 8 years. Time is equal to 8 years and effective rate of interest is 8%. Let us write the formula. F is equal to PV multiply 1 plus R over M to the power M multiply T. Present value is 6,000 which I invested, multiply 1 plus R is 8%, which I write 8% over M. Here he did not say anything about division of the time, annually, quarterly, monthly, daily, nothing he told. So you write 1 multiply 8. So use calculator effectively. You get this much money. This much money is the future money. Okay. So future money compounded amount is this much, and present I put 60,000. Present I put 60,000. So when I put 60,000, it became 11,000. So it became 11,000. So the difference will be the interest. 5105.58 will be the interest, compound interest. That is what it is. Okay. Now there are two rates of interest. Here we use 8%. There are two rates of interest called effective rate and nominal rate. There are two rates of interest called effective rate and nominal rate. Nominal rate is R, which you usually use. Effective rate of interest is what we have to calculate. So the bank will say, we are actually taking 4% interest from you, they say. But actually if you calculate the essential effective interest, it will be 4.25 something, it will be more. Suppose you go to Al Rajhi Bank or Riyadh Bank, they say we are just simply taking only 2% interest from you. No, it is not 2%, it will be 2.75 will be there. Anyway, how to calculate that one is, this is nominal effective interest, this is called nominal interest. Here is the formula, 1 plus R over M to the power M minus 1. Here there is PV is there, here there is PV, that PV you should take it as 1. So this is the remaining 1 plus R over 1 to the power M to the power M. T also you should take 1. Time also you should take 1 minus 1. So what is the difference between effective rate and nominal rate? Effective rate and nominal rate, it is the same as long as for 1 year is concerned. If it is 5 years or 2 years or 3 years, there will be a difference in it. So for time is equal to 1 and M is equal to 1, for T is equal to 1, M is equal to 1, these two are same. I repeat, for T is equal to 1 and M is equal to 1, these two are same more or less. Okay, so that is why we use this formula. So you have to remember the formula, there is no other go. So effective. So here is the find effective rate of interest 5% compounded quarterly. Quarterly means what? M is equal to 4. So effective rate will be different. So see this, effective rate will be M is equal to 1. What you get is called effective rate. Anyway, so quarterly means M is equal to 1. So here is the formula, effective interest rate is equal to 1 plus R over M multiplied T minus 1. This R is the nominal interest. So 1 plus R is given to be nominal 5%. Normally we never use this effective rate. We usually only use nominal most of the time. This they are teaching and it is there in the syllabus I am teaching actually. But normally 99.9% we use this nominal interest rate only. So 5% is nominal interest divided by quarterly means M is equal to 4 to the multiply how many years? Because he did not say anything about the years, you should take T is equal to 1. So when you simplify this using calculator and you get 5.09. Actually because it is interest rate, you cannot write, you have to multiply by 100 and you have to express the answer in percentage. Normally you will get the answer like this, 0.0509 you will get it. You will get the answer, you multiply by 100, you get 5.09, you get 5.09%. You should express the answer percent. Even this answer is correct, but if you multiply and write the answer in percentage, because effective rate means always the answer should be in percent. When I say flus means it should be always in reals. Similarly, rate means it should be always in percentage. Let us do one more problem. See, let us do one more problem. On a 5-year period, an original principal of 2000, principal are today money, present value all the same, accumulated to 2950, that is accumulated means became big. 2950 future value. So 2000 I put today and became 2950 in an account in which interest rate was compounded quarterly. Quarterly means M is equal to 4. Determine the effective rate of interest. First you have to find the regular interest, that is called nominal interest. After that effective rate interest. Right? For effective rate of interest, the time must be 1 only. That you have to remember. Anyway, here is only one formula. Future value is equal to present value multiply 1 plus R over M to the power M multiply T. This is future is 2950, present is 2000, I put it became 2950. 1 plus R is, we don't know R, over 4, M is equal to 4 quarterly, to to the power 4 multiply how many years over a 5-year period, that is time is equal to 5. So use calculator effectively, shift cal isavi, you will get this answer. When you multiply by 100, you get 7.849%. 7.849%, or you write 7.85%, no problem. Now effective interest, here is the formula, RE is equal to 1 plus R over M multiply M over T 1. Here T must be 1 place. Here T must be 1. Effective rate of interest, time should be 1 year only. 1 plus 7.85% over quarterly is 4 to the multiply 4 multiply 1 minus 1. This minus 1 you will forget in the calculator while typing. Be careful. So you get this much answer, multiply by 100 will give you 8.804%. So normally the bank say we are taking 7.585 interest from you, like that they say, but actually they take 8.084%. That is the effective rate actually. So this is how we are paying, and we are believing that the bank is taking only this much. No, the bank says we are taking this much. No, actually bank is taking this much and we are also paying this much. This is called effective rate. But now 99% we will not believe this, we will end up with this only. It doesn't matter because there is no big difference here. 7.85 and 8.08, there is no big difference. Effective rate will always be a little more than the regular one. Now let us take one more problem. Suppose that over a 6-year period, that is time is equal to 6, $100 accumulated means became big. $1,000 became 1959. This is present value, this is future value. It became big. In an investment in which interest rate was compounded quarterly, quarterly means M is equal to 4. Find the nominal rate of interest. Nominal rate of interest means, write the formula, only one formula we have. Future value is equal to present value multiply 1 plus R over M to the power M multiply T. This is 1959 is equal to 1000 multiply 1 plus R over 4, M is equal to 4 quarterly, multiply 4 multiply 6 year, so multiply by 6. So you get 0.117, because the rate percent must be expressed in percentage, multiply by 100 and you write 11.37%. This is called nominal rate. Nominal rate. But this is, I am doing it extra, effective rate. What is effective rate? RE is equal to, E stands for effective, 1 plus R over M multiply M multiply 1 please. For effective rate of interest, you should take 1 here. Time is equal to 1 year only, minus 1. This minus 1, you will forget in the calculator while typing. Be careful. So 1 plus R is how much? 11.37% over 4 multiply 1 minus 1, which will give you 11.86. Multiply by 100 will give you 11.86%. 11.86%. Okay. So welcome back. Before I start the video, let me tell you a small thing. You just follow this video doesn't mean that you will get all the knowledge. You have to take a white paper, do the problems along with the video, then only you will understand everything in detail. Here, I already finished this problem, but I repeat, this here, if I put shift cal equal to, I may not get R directly. Because calculator is a small machine, it will not give the answer directly. In this case, what I do here is, you have to use little intelligent. This 1959 is equal to 1000 multiply. This 1000 I will bring it to the left, then the multiply will become divided by, so I will get 1959 over 1000 Gisma. And this is 1 plus R over 4 to the power 24. This 24 I will bring it to the here. This is 24 over 1 will become 1 over 24. See this? 1959 divided by 100 to the power 1 over 24 is equal to Bagi 1 plus R over 4. This you can use in the calculator. Shift cal equal to, then I will give directly R is equal to 0.0137. Okay. So the next topic is another problem. The next topic is another problem. How many years it would take to double a principal at the given effective rate of 5%. Okay. So this is a very standard problem. The coordinator likes this problem very much. Every time they give you this, either double or triple. Double means multiply by 3. Triple means multiply by 3. So T, how many years means T is equal to majhul. T is equal to how much it would take to double means multiply a principal. Principal is not given, he simply said principal. When he did not give the value, you should always take it as 1. If you don't like 1, you can take 100, 500, 1000, any number you like, but usually 1 is a small number, it is easy. At the given effective rate 5%. Here it did not give anything, so I must take m is equal to 1. Because nothing is given quarterly, monthly like that, so I should take m is equal to 1. Double means multiply by 2, triple means multiply by 3. Effective rate will become nominal rate, they will be same if m is equal to 1. If m is equal to 1, effective rate will be the same as nominal rate. Okay. So here PV, present value, is not given. So $1, I took it. Future value means double. He says double. How it will take double a money, it will take to double a principal. So double means multiply 1 multiply 2 will give you $2. R is 5%, m is equal to 1, t is equal to how much? Put it here to 1 plus 5% over n, 1 multiply t. Use fifth cal equal to, you get t equal to 14.2 directly. Now let us do one more problem. Suppose attending a certain university, means joining in a university, it costs $25,000, $25,500 in 2009 and 10. Assuming an effective rate of 3% inflation rate, determine what college cost will it be in 2015-16 school year. What it says, today if I join, it is costing this much, $25,500. So what is the future value? Right? What is the future value? That is the question. What is the future value in 2015-16? Because rates every time increases, no? So R is equal to 3%. M, he did not give quarterly, monthly, nothing is given, so you should take m is equal to 1. And m is equal to 1, effective rate will be the nominal rate. So whether he says effective rate or nominal rate, it doesn't matter for us as long as m is equal to 1. If m is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, then these are different. And we have a formula called RE is equal to 1 plus R over m to the power m multiply t minus 1. We have the formula. Remember effective interest rate. Anyway, let's come back. T is equal to 6 years. How 6 years it is? Because it is from 2009 to 2015. These are 6 years. These are 6 years. In 2009 and 10, this much money they put it. In 2015-16, how much? So 6 years it is. 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 2009 to 2015, 6 years it is. So future value, write the formula PV is equal to 1 plus R over m to the power m multiply t. Put the value 2.5, 3% to 1. You will get $30,448. Clear? Very simple it is. The same formula we are using it thoroughly forward and backward direction. Let us do the same question. How long will it take for a principal P to double if money is worth 12% compounded monthly? When it did not give P, means you take P is equal to $1 present value. Future value is double means multiply by 2. R is 12%. Monthly compounded monthly means 12%. T is equal to how much? How long? How long means time, how much? So put the formula F is equal to P 1 plus R over M 1 power T. Put the values properly. Shift cal equal to will give you directly 5.805. That is 5 years 10 months. 0.8 year means 10 months approximately. Find the present value of the given future value. Future value is given. 20 years is given. 5% is given. Compounded annual means m equal to 1 is given. What is the present value PV? So write the formula here. Future value is equal to present value multiply 1 over R over m multiply m over t. So this will give you like this. Shift cal equal to will give you directly the answer after putting the values. You get this is the answer. Same question, find the present value of the given future payment. Here $4,000 due in 12 years. This is the future value. $4,000 is future value. Time is 12 years. Compounded semi-annual is m equal to 2. R percent is 7%. Same value 4,000 future value is equal to PV we don't know because find the present value. That is the same question. So PV multiply 1 plus 7% over 2 multiply 12%. This PV is not there in the calculator. You should type X and shift cal equal to will give you directly this answer. You need to practice with the calculator also. So the next is a bank pays 5.3% compounded monthly. Must be deposited now. How much must be deposited now means PV majhul. How much must be deposited now? Now means Aliyam Dahina today. Means PV is equal to how much? So the account contains exactly 12,000 at the end of 1 year. So R is 5.3%. M is compounded monthly. Monthly means M is equal to 12. PV we have to calculate, and future value is 12,000 year, $12,000, and time is equal to 1 year. So if F is equal to PV multiply 1 plus R over M multiply T. So put the values, all these things. Shift cal equal to PV will not be there in the calculator. You have to type X, please. Then you get this answer directly. Just type the values, understand this English, write the values clearly, and put it back. A trust fund for a period of 10-year-old child is being set up by a single payment, that is single payment today, so that at the age of 21 the child would receive 27,000. What is this 27,000? This is future. At the age of 21 he will receive this much money. Find how much money payment is if an interest rate is 6% compounded semi-annually. Find how much payment is. Is means today. Is means today. Okay. So future value is $27,000. See, a trust fund for a 10-year-old child is being set up by a single payment, so that at the age of 21 the child will receive. Will receive means future. Will receive means future. So this is future value. Present is how much money we should put in. R is 6%, compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually means M is equal to 2, 6 months, 6 months. And time is, when is 10 years, and if we waited up to 21 years. 21 minus 10, 11 years. 10 years and 20. At the age of 20, 10 years we put the money, and we are waiting until the age of 21. So the difference is 11 years. So put these values in the formula, and you have to find the PV. PV, you shift cal equal to, you get the answer directly. You get the answer directly. Okay, very simple it is. Put the values, understand the English, put the values. That's it. Now the next topic is called compounded continuously. When once you see compounding continuously means not half yearly, monthly, daily, no. Compounded continuously means immediately jump on the problem. You change the formula is FV is equal to PV multiply e power RT. E power RT. Earlier the formula is FV is equal to PV multiply 1 plus R over M multiply M multiply T. This is also compounding. But here this compounding may be annually, maybe monthly, maybe daily, maybe weekly, right? Maybe semi-annually, like that this is. But whereas here it is also a compounding but continuously. When once you see this word continuously, immediately jump on the problem, change the formula, PV multiply e power RT. Here M always will be 1. If M is equal to some 5, M is equal to some 6, then this formula will not work. M should be 1 only. So continuously means M is 1, understood. Otherwise you have to write R over M multiply M multiply T, something will come. Anyway, if 10,000 is deposited today in a savings account that earns interest at an annual rate of 4.5%, compounded continuously, this is the word, you have to pick it up. What is the value of the account at 2 years? So that is after 2 years. So write it, this one, FV is equal to, PV means present value 1000 we put it, multiply e power, R is 4.5%, here it is, R is 4.5%, multiply how many years? 2 years. Use calculator, E will be alpha 10 power x something will be there, E will come there, right? Use calculator and then you get directly this answer. Another question, the board of directors to redeem its stock in 5 years. That is, in 5 years they want to sell the redeem means to sell the stock in 5 years. At that time, that is in future, at that time means in future, this much money, that is 1 million will be required. Right? If it invests at 5% compounded continuously, and once you see continuously, immediately here is the formula. How much money should it be at present? It's clear. At present means today how much good. So future is how much? $1 million is equal to present we don't know. Multiply e power. E means E is a number whose value is 2.73. E means like pi is 3.14. E is another number with value 2.73 which is there in the calculator. E power R is 5%. R is 5% and how many years? For 5 years. So shift cal equal to will give you directly this much answer. Now let us take one more. A fund is being set up by a single payment so that at the end of 30 years there will be means future. There will be means future $50,000 in the fund. If the interest rate is compounded continuously, immediately here is the formula. Continuously means immediately this formula at an annual rate of 6%. How much money should be paid into the fund initially? Initially means today aliyam dahina. So here it will be means future. So this is future PV multiply e power r is 6% multiply time is 30 years. Use calculator. Shift cal equal to will give you answer directly. Now this is finished. Now let's go to the next topic, that is called annuity. So what do you mean by the word annuity? This is the last topic. Before I tell you once again, do not just simply watching the video will not help you. You have to take a white paper, do the problem along with the video will give you the knowledge, right knowledge. Just watching the video, come to the exam and write the exam is not possible. You can write it, but you will not get full marks. You may miss some methods and other things. So please take a white paper, do the problem along with the video. Now annuity. Annuity means paying in equal installments, which is also called EMI, equal monthly installments. What is the difference between these problems and the before compound interest problem? Means in compound interest we put one bulk amount today and we will take future. One fixed amount only one time only we use there. But here annuity means every month we do it, every 6 months we do it, every year we do it. Suppose we took annuity for 10 years means every year I pay some money like that. So it is a continuous process. EMI, equal monthly installments. What is the formula here? There are three formulas here, but the first formula here is present value is equal to annuity. Annuity means EMI, monthly how much you pay, multiply 1 minus 1 plus R over M minus M multiply T over R over M. This is supposed to be future value, but we say present value because the present value is much less than what we pay as EMI. So whatever we pay monthly, that amount is bigger than the present value. So that is why we cannot write this is future value. Future is always big. So this whatever we pay from our pocket, which is called annuity, is bigger than what we get. So whatever answer you will get here is less than this number. Okay, let us see. Don't forget the formula. It's a very big formula, and here it is minus place. So find the present value of the given annuity. Find the present value. Whenever you see annuity, immediately jump on the problem, write this formula. So I write it this formula. PV is equal to EMI multiply 1 minus bracket 1 plus R over M to the power minus M, minus is there, minus M multiply T over R over M. Now let us see. Annuity means what? Equal monthly installments. How much he paid? $600 per year. See, this is what he did. Every year he is paying $600. How many years he paid? 6 years. How many he paid? At the rate of 6%. Compounded annually. Always M is equal to 1 only. Mostly M is equal to 1 only, you will have it. Okay. How much I pay? $600 for 6 years I paid. So 600 will give you 3,600. Because my money 3,600 is with the bank, they will add some interest. How much they add? 584 they added, and they gave 4,184. Right? So if I pay like this, so the present value will be less than this. So suppose I want this money, I want to pay 3,600 today, tomorrow, every year like this. Then instead of paying 6 times, I am lazy to do this job. I will ask the company, I cannot pay every year like this. Tell me an alternative means, okay sir, don't pay 600 6 times. Pay today 2,950, that we will take it as 3,600 only, like that they say. Not 3,600, it will be 4100. So if you pay 2950 today, it will become 4184. So this much money is required for me. So because I cannot pay 2950 today to make this much money, what I did is I paid 600 EMI. You understand what I'm talking? I repeat. I have to pay this much money today, Aliyam, Tahina, today, to get this much money tomorrow. Tomorrow means in future after 6 years. Right? But I don't have this much big money in my pocket. What I say, the alternative is you make installment 600, and we'll add the interest and you'll get this much money. This is called annuity. So let us put the formula PV is equal to EMI multiply 1 minus 1 plus R over M minus MT over R over M. So EMI is 600 I am paying, multiply 6% is interest, 6 years you put it. Always mostly M is equal to 1 will give you answer directly 2950. I will tell you another example. Suppose your electricity bill, Marafic bill, is 1000. So 1000 for 8 months it is 8000 riyal. Every month your Marafic electricity bill is 8000 riyal. Right? So for 8000 my money is with the Marafic. They will also add some interest, very nominal interest, and they say this is the money finally I am paying. Because I cannot pay every month, what I will do is, sir, I cannot pay every month like this is boring for me. Tell me something alternative. Means Marafic said you don't have to pay 1000 every month or every 6 months, but instead of that, if you pay $6,600 today, that we will consider it as 9,800. That is this much money present I pay to get a future money. So what is the question here? Find the present value of the given annuity. So if I pay monthly like this or yearly for every 6 months, $1,000 for every 6 months if I pay, how much money will get accumulated? That this is the present value. According with this calculation, whichever is convenient, I will do it. If this is convenient, I will pay one time today and forget it. If this is not convenient for me, I will pay piecemeals 1000 like that I will pay. Okay, got it? That is called annuities. Annuity means what? Because I cannot pay the big money, I will pay that money in pieces. I will pay that money in pieces. So one piece like that I will pay. So that is called annuity. Now present value is equal to EMI. This is the formula. So let us write it. EMI 1000 for every 6 months, multiply 1 minus 1 plus R% is 10%. Compounded semi-annually means 6 months one time, M is equal to 2 minus 2 times month. So put it and use calculator, you get 6,643. Again one more problem. Find the present value of the given annuity due. So 900 paid at the beginning of each year. Yes. Here is another problem. I will tell in another video. So this is the last part of the module 2. I repeat, you take a white paper, do the problems along with the video, then you will understand and you will remember. Okay, so let's come back to the last leg of the video of module 2. So let us understand. Before we were talking about compound interest or compounded, whatever it is. So in this compounded means you are putting some amount in lump sum. In a big amount you will put it today and you will forget for 5 years, 10 years, and you will take a big more money with interest you will take in future. So today you put some money and you take some money in future is called compound interest. So only one time we'll put it. Okay, so this is called compound interest. And one more thing is compounded continuously, where the formula is changed to e power RT, whereas compounded continuously means 1 plus R over M to the power M multiply T. Now what we call is annuity. This annuity means equal monthly installments. Every month we pay. Suppose you want to buy an item for 8,000 riyal. So you say you don't because you cannot pay 8,000 riyal. So you pay 1,000 8 times, and you say they say. So it's easy, and we'll always buy items, TV, refrigerator, big items we always buy with the installments like this. Actually, how much did we pay? $8,000 in 4 years. We paid $8,000 in 4 years. But what happens is, for this money which we paid to the shopman, he will also acquire some interest, because that is what we have to calculate. So for we have paid 8,000, and they also include, they get some interest for the money which we paid. That is around one total this much money it is. Forget about this interest and this money. At least we paid 8,000. So why did we pay in piecemeal 1,000 installments? Why did we pay in installments? Because I cannot pay 8,000 real today. So because I know mathematics, what I do is, suppose I don't want to pay 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I want to pay at one time. I want to pay one time. So one time you don't have to pay 8,000. You have to pay 6,643 real or dollar. So because I know mathematics, instead of paying 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 like this, I will calculate and I say 6,643. If I pay one time, it is sufficient to make this money. So this is called present value of a future income. So whichever is convenient, I will go for it. If this is convenient, I will somehow manage this money and I will buy the item. If this is not convenient, I will pay 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I will buy the item. This is called future value, present value of a future income. So annuity means EMI. So what is the purpose? The present value purpose is only calculation. What is the present value of a future income? That is, instead of paying to Marafiq 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 every 2 months, I will say I cannot do this. So then the Marafiq will say, okay, you pay this much money, it is sufficient for 1 year. They'll say like that, Marafiq. Marafiq, or if you want to buy any Samsung item, don't pay 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, pay today this much, and you will get the item like that. So this is how we do marketing outside. Okay, here is the formula for this annuity. Now there is another thing is called annuity due. When once you get the word annuity due in the problem, then you have to change the formula. I will tell you what it is. So when you say only annuity, here is the formula: EMI multiply 1 minus 1 plus R over M minus M multiply T over R over M. This is it. So annuity due means, here due means future income. Annuity due means future I will get it. Means you pay and take the money at the end. Today you pay and then tomorrow you take the money. So what I do here is annuity due means there are 2 items here: end of the month, beginning of the month. Right? So suppose today is January 1st. So I will pay January 1st some money, February 1st, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 1st. How many times I paid? Beginning of the month, January 1st, February 1st, March 1st, April 1st. How many times I paid? I paid 12 times in a year, and then I will forget it. Then after 1 month, after paying December 1st, again the next January 1st, they will give you a bulk money. They will give a bulk money. That is, I paid 100 real for 12 times. Then I will get 1,200 real plus interest on January 1st. I paid every month first day 100 for 12 months. On the 13th month beginning, they will give you 1,200 real plus some interest. Here, another thing is end of the month. Instead of paying January 1st, I will pay at the end of the month. So instead of January 1st, I will pay January last January 30, and then February 28, March 30, April 30, like that. Every month end only I am paying it. So the 12th installment I will pay December 30. So the next day, that is January 1st, the next day itself, they will give my 1,200 real plus some interest. Here also they will give 1,200 real plus interest. Here my 12th installment is with the bank for 1 month extra. I paid December 1st, the 12th installment, and the 12th installment is there with them for one more month, and they paid the money on January 1st. Here the 12th installment I paid on December 31st. The next day they gave the whole money, 1200 real plus interest. So automatically in this area you will get less interest, whereas you will get more interest here. If you pay any installment in the beginning of the month, my money will be with the bank for one more month extra. That is why I get more interest. Here when I pay every month, end of the month, then I will get less interest because I paid 11 installment, and the 12th installment I paid today. Tomorrow I get the money back. So that means the 12th installment will not carry any interest. You see the difference? Beginning of the month and end of the month. This is it. So there is a formula in the difference. So here we are calculating the future income. We are calculating annuity due, future income. So that means big money. So that is why this number is empty, is plus. Whereas here we are calculating the present value of future income. So that is why you have minus. It is less. It is less here. Here I'm putting the same amount every month, and I get a big money at the end. That is why this is plus. So see the difference. This is minus because it is less, and then it is plus because you are getting more money. So what is the formula here? Very simple formula. What is it? It is EMI multiply 1 plus R over M multiply M power T minus 1 over R over M. And that this is end of the month. End of the month will have less interest. Beginning of the month will have more interest. The same formula, multiply extra 1 plus R over M. The same formula, multiply with an extra 1 plus R over M. So what is that you have to look in the problem is beginning of the month or end of the month. That's what you have to see. Let us see this. What is that we are calculating? Find the present value of the given annuity due. When once annuity due is there, immediately you jump on the problem, write this formula. And the next one is, this is the beginning or the end. Because it is beginning, you have to write like multiply 1 plus R over M extra. If it is end of the month, this part is not required if it says end of the month. Okay, see this. How much EMI I am paying? That is called annuity. $150 paid at the beginning of each month for 5 years. Each month for 5 years at 7% compounded monthly. Okay, how much I paid actually? Every month I am paying $150. How many years I paid? I paid for 5 years. That is 60 months I paid. That is $9,000 I paid in 5 years every month. Total how much I paid? $9,000. So at the end I must get more than $9,000. See, I got more than that. So EMI is 150 multiply. See why this minus 1 I put beginning is I wasted lot of time in calculator, because this minus 1 I forget every time. When I put all this big number, all this big formula in calculator, I will forget this minus 1. So that is why I put minus 1 first. So EMI is 150 multiply minus 1 plus 1 plus R is 7% over compounded monthly means 12. 12 multiply 5 divided by R over M is 7% over 12 multiply. Once again one more extra, because beginning means this term will be extra. 1 plus 7% over 12 months. So which will give you this number 10,801. You have to be very careful in input these numbers in your calculator. If you are not sure, keep this separate, calculate this separate, everything you put it, again you multiply this, you do stepwise using the calculator. But be careful, don't forget the common sense. I put $150 per month for 60 months. 5 years means 60 months. So I gave $9,000. I put $9,000 and I got $10,000, $10,800. So this common sense you should not forget it here. So here why you have one extra? Because we put beginning. So my money is with them. The 12th installment is with them for one more month. Whereas at end of the month, the 12th installment will not be at the end of the month. Just I pay 12th month, immediately the next day I will get the money back. Suppose I am paying money to buy a TV. I am paying money to buy a TV. If I am paying in the beginning of the month I need to pay little less. I need to pay little less, so that after paying the 12th installment I have to wait one more month to get my TV. Whereas end of the month means I pay every month, end of the month I pay this much money, and the 12th installment the next day I will get my TV. Here I have to wait for one more month extra to get my item back. That is how we behave in the market. Accordingly, my money is with them 1 month extra, or 1 month one installment extra. So that way we have this extra this. Let us do one more problem. Let us do one more problem. What is this? Suppose a $50 is placed in a savings account at the end of each month. See this, at the end of each month. At the end of each month means I will not have an extra item here for 4 years. How much is the account after 4 years? How much of this amount is compounded interest? Assume that the bank pays 6% compounded monthly. So here what is that you have to identify? End of the each month. That means this is the formula. Compounded monthly M is equal to 12. Compounded monthly M is equal to 12. So let us write it. How much EMI I am paying? This EMI is called annuity, please. Annuity and EMI are the same. Every month I am paying it. What is the difference between annuity and compound interest? Compound interest means I pay today lump sum money and I will forget it. But EMI means every month I pay, that calls annuity. Annuity means every month I will pay, or every year I will pay. So this is 50 multiply 1, this minus 1 you write first, because in the calculator you will forget to type this minus 1. That is why I am writing it minus 1 first, plus 1 plus R. R is how much? 6% over M is 12, compounded monthly. 12 multiply how many years? I put it for 4 years. See, 4 years. So 6 over 12 I get 2704.89. So how much I put it? Actually for 4 years I am putting every month. That is 48 months I put $50. 4 years every month I am giving $50. That is 48 months means $2,400 I put it, and I got 2,700. How much I put it? 2,400. I got 2,700. This is what they call recurring deposit in banks. What the name they give? Recurring deposit. So this is it. How much extra money I got? 2,400. 50 multiply 12 multiply 4. 4 years every month. 12 months. 12 months multiply 4. 48 into this 2,400. I got $304 extra money by paying like this. This is called end of the every month. Let us do one more. A promises to B the sum of $5,000 and agrees to pay B the sum of 1,000. So I took 5,000 loan from a person. I say I will pay you every month $1,000. So at the end of each year, every year I will pay 5,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 5 times for 5 years. And a final amount, that is just 5,000 is not sufficient. Some more interest will come. And a final payment at the end of the 6th year. How much should the final payment if the interest is at 8% compounded annually? Annually means M is equal to 1. What is that I am doing it? I took $5,000 from a friend. I say I will pay 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 5 times. But he will put some interest. He will not give money to me free of cost. He will not give money to me free of cost. So he will put some interest for that one. So I pay 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 5 times. Plus some interest will be there. That interest I will pay at the 6th year. The 6th year I will pay the excess money. So let us do it. Amount due. Amount due means annuity. Annuity due means future income, which is big income. So every month I paid 1,000 multiply 1 plus R over M multiply M minus T, all these things. R is 8%. Where is it? R is 8%. 8%. R is 8%. M is 1 because annually. Multiply to the power 1 multiply 5 is 5 minus 1 over 8%. I get 586. So how much extra I have to pay? $866 extra I have to pay. So at the end of the 6th year, I have to pay $866. This is a very beautiful finance mathematics. Try to do on your own. You will really enjoy it, and you really think when you go to the supermarket, Hyperpanda, these markets, when you see, when they put things in the offer, you will understand the future value, present value, everything. You will start thinking in the mind how the business people are behaving. You will really understand it. It's a very good subject. Anyway, thanks for listening. I repeat, at the end, don't simply watch the video. Just take a paper, do the problem along with the video. First, this problem you understand and you do it, and you use calculator, you should get it, and all these numbers you should get it using calculator. Okay, thanks.